Hi, and welcome to the Big Bang Theory Balloon Activity Lab. So in this lab, you are going to measure the distance between a home galaxy and 5 other galaxies that surround the home galaxy as the universe, represented by a balloon, expands. So what you will need is, of course, your balloon, which will represent your universe, a permanent marker to draw on your home galaxies and your 5 surrounding galaxies, a ruler, and a piece of string to measure the distance. And of course you will need your lab handout or document to record your data. Now, the first thing that we're going to do, which is not a part of the lab procedure, is sort of help set it up. During this lab, you're going to blow up the balloon to about 4 inches in diameter, and then an additional 2 inches each time until you get to 12 inches. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to mark off on our string those inches, which will just to help allow us to measure. Okay, so to do that, I'm going to take my string and I'm going to give it a little slack, and I'm going to line it up along my ruler there, along the inch side, and then I'm going to just draw lines at the 4, 6, and 12 inch mark. So let me show you what that looks like. So here's my ruler. Let me flip it around. Maybe easier for you to see it that way. Okay, so I'm giving a little slack at the end there, and then I'm going to mark off 4 inches. Get that top there. Oops. It doesn't have to be perfect. 6, 8, 10, and then 12. Okay. Now, this is difficult to do with one person, so we're going to try our best, and if we're unable to blow it up exactly or close to 4, we'll just blow it up, make sure we blow it up the number of times that we need. Okay, so the next step is we're going to blow up our balloon to 4 inches of diameter, and so for me, that will be the first mark here from the shortest end, because the string is pretty long, and the last mark I made at the 12 inch mark was over here, and you've got a lot of slack, so it can represent our diameter. So here we go. I'm going to do this by first wrapping the balloon around the string, and I'm going to approximately blow it up to 4 inches at the narrowest part. Okay, so now I have my balloon, and see, it's pretty small, so this is my starting universe. All right, now I need to record my home galaxy. You can put that anywhere, and then the 5 other galaxies that are surrounded will be scattered around randomly. I'll let out a little air by accident. You want to hold it tight so you don't let out any air. All right, so here we have home. And then I'll do A over here. Okay. So it's home, and there goes A, and then we'll do B on the other side, maybe C at the end here. Again, this is hard to do with just one hand, so you want to do your best. D, and then E. Okay, so I'm just drawing them around. Now, some of course are closer to the home galaxy than others. All right, now I'm going to start recording my data. So this will be at time 1. And what I'm going to do is measure, using the string and the ruler, the distance between the home galaxy and each of these galaxies, galaxy A, B, C, D, and E. So let's start with between the home galaxy and galaxy A. So here's my home galaxy, and I'll use the unmarked side of the ruler. Okay, so you want to do it at the end of the string there. I have a little bit of slack, but I'll keep track of that. So I'm just holding it where galaxy A is and where my home galaxy is. My home galaxy, and then where my finger is, this is my galaxy A. Okay? So now that what I'll do is I'll take that and I'll do my best to measure. And I'll show you that while I'm holding on to the balloon. A lot of stuff going on here. All right, so now I'm going to use the centimeter side. Make sure you use the centimeter side to do this measurement. And that measurement for me came out to be 4 centimeters. Remember, I had a little bit of slack, and this is where the home galaxy was. So I'm going to record 4 centimeters. It's the distance between dot A and the home galaxy. This is my first value in. Okay. So now I'm going to do the same thing with dot B. Now a little bit of air went out, so I'm blowing it up to the same position that it was before. Of course, it's not going to be perfectly the same, but I'm going to do my best to try and blow it up. The good thing is about the first one, it's pretty easy because for me, for these balloons, it's just about as much that requires to get the balloon to stay inflated. All right. All right, so now we're going to do home and B. So there's home, and then if I can turn it around there, there's B, and I'm just trying to get a distance there. Okay, and again, I'm using the centimeter side of the ruler, and again, that comes out, that one is also 4 centimeters. So even though they're on opposite sides, they're actually the same distance, and sometimes that happens, okay? Let's do one more together. Let's do C. So I've got my values for A and B. Now we're going to do C. Now C is definitely a different distance. Okay. And you know what may be helpful is I'm estimating where the slack is, but you can make a mark at the end where the slack, so let me show you how to do that. I'm going to make a mark with my ruler at the end where the slack is, so I know where I want to put my home galaxy. So let's do this again. So here's my mark there, and I'm going to put that mark, that end where the home galaxy is. So I'll match up those 2 dots, and then I can hold it. And then I can move to dot C, so home and then dot C, and then I can record. And you can see that this one is bigger. This one is 7.5 centimeters, so the larger distance. Okay, so I'm going to record 7.5 centimeters. Okay, so now I've got my A, B, and C. I'm going to do the same thing for D and E. Okay, so I have my data for the distance between my home galaxies and all of my points here. Now what I'm going to do is blow up my balloon 2 more inches. So that's where these markings come into play. Remember we had them before, and you want to keep track of what side. So this is the first mark from this end is 4 centimeters, and then the next is 6. So I want a 6 centimeter diameter. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap this around the balloon and then try and blow it up to that point. Okay, this is, you know what, I'm going to twist this just to keep it inflated a little bit longer. So twist the balloon, we'll keep it inflated a little bit longer. All right, now we've got that. We're going to now do the same thing again, home, between home and A. So again, I'm going to start, now I'm going to use the other end where my marking is really close to the edge there. I'm going to put that dot on home, and then I'm going to take it to A. Okay, and then so from home and A, I'm going to record that. So let me get my ruler and let's do that again. Home. Okay, cool. And I've got 5 centimeters is the distance. So I just kept track of where A was, and of course the black dot is my home, and that was 5 centimeters on my ruler here. Okay, do the same thing to B. So again, home. And B. So home and B, here we go. So my black dot is on my home, and then I'm going to do that to my B. Go there to my B, and then that's going to be where I measure it. Okay. And look, that is also 5 centimeters. Okay. So I'm going to repeat that for all of the other points at time 2 using this balloon. And because I've twisted it, it keeps the air in. It's not completely closed, but it keeps the air in. All right, I'll show you my data. Okay, so I have my data here. And one thing that is important as you're collecting your data, make sure that you're following the same pathway when you're measuring the distance between the home galaxy and galaxies A through E. So what do I mean by that? If your home galaxy, let's say for example when I'm measuring the distance between the home galaxy and A, I want to measure it the same way each time. So here's my home galaxy. Put the string dot there. And then to get to A, I went the shortest path, which was right there. Okay. And I'm sort of marked it with my finger, and I can take that. All right, I got holding the string where A is. And so I did that same way at time 1 as I did for time 2. So when I measured it, it's more accurate. Now, if, for example, the first time I did it was going from that diagonal from home to A like that, but then the next time I did it, I was like, oh, let me go from home to A the other way around, right? It's going to give you a very different measurement. It's going to be much longer. So make sure you measure it the same way each time. All right, final thing you're going to do this a couple more times. Again, each time you're going to use the string to sort of help guide you. So right now I'm at the diameter of the balloon is 6 inches. I want to bring it up to 8. So that will be the 3rd marking. This is the 1st marking on my string. This is the 2nd marking, and this is the 3rd marking. So I'm going to wrap that around the balloon. Okay, untwist it. And if some air comes out, that's fine because you're going to blow it up to that level anyway. All right, now I'm at my 8 centimeters, okay? And now I'm going to do the same, 8 inches around. I'm going to do the same thing again, measuring each time the distance between the galaxies. When you're done with that, we're going to look at our data and analyze what we notice about the distances between the galaxies, depending on whether the galaxies are close to the home galaxy or farther away. Also, how are the distancing changing just in general. And this is a model for what we know as the Big Bang Theory. Hope you found this video helpful. Have a quality day.